we still do. We still do. We still do. We still do after all this time at the altar. I alter my mind and vow to God I love you till he make his return. The rain should be the least of your concern. Under God's umbrella, I promise to provide and preserve his word and to serve your mind and spirit. Let me drive the boat. I promise I'ma steer it. The devil cannot get near it. You'll know this soon as you hear it. You need me, I need you. Even after the altar, we still do.
Sex.
We're talking about it, but
Sex.
we're talking about the myths around the topic
Sex.
of sex.
Yes.
And specifically, we want to shed some light because culturally,
Sex has always been falsified.
And
I don't know if it's been falsified.
not necessarily
say that.
falsified, but there's just expectation that is put on both the men and the women that you bring into the bedroom when it comes to sex.
Yes. So we really want to talk about myths because we want you to have a satisfying sex life.
Yep.
And our
Simple as
theme
that.
for these couple episodes that we're talking about sex is in 1 Corinthians 7.
Mhm.
And just to remind you all of what those is, I'm going to read straight from my Bible. And it's 1 Corinthians 7, verse 3. It says, the husband should give his wife her conjugal rights, and likewise the wife to her husband. And so that really is our founding. There's so much more to this passage, but that really is our founding scripture, because when we talk about sex, that's one of the things that is so intimate, so needed for relationships, and it's a way that we become one physically.
Yeah.
But it's also something that is weaponized in marriages. It's also something that people divorce over. It's something that when it's not done for whatever reason, whether it's not intimacy, but if it's like emotional disengagement, whatever it is, people step outside of their marriage. And so we want to help you have a healthy sexual life. And one of the things we want to do today is really myth bust some of those things that we've been taught or even developed throughout the years, especially when we talk about, what we've heard from culture. Because when we think about it, there's a lot of things that we learned maybe in high school or middle school from those people we deemed as popular, our influencers, that really led us to believe a certain thing about sex that really makes sex difficult when it comes to satisfying our partner. And so without further ado, the first myth that we want to talk about is this idea that penis size determines satisfaction. And I know that it's hard for some of y'all to hear over the airwaves the word penis, but this is educational. So we want you to hear the education behind it, because this really stumps a lot of couples, especially men who feel they don't have the proper size, because there is this myth that bigger is better, or what's the boat, rock the boat saying or something like that?
Nope.
Motion in the ocean. It's something like that. What is it?
Gotta be enough motion in the ocean.
Gotta be enough ocean. Never mind. I don't even know why I asked you.
Yeah, you got the wrong one.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. Don't even trip. So a lot of men,
wow.
a lot of men feel like they are inadequate because they're not large enough. And one of the reasons why this is a myth is because the size doesn't determine satisfaction, the intimacy does.
Yeah.
Intimacy sexually determines fulfillment sexually, not size. Because when you think about some of the best sex, like just me and you, like, because we have this emotional connection, there's this freedom, there's this enjoyment that we can have with one another, because there is the emotional, there's the physical attraction, there's all these things that come together that creates this intimacy, this feeling, this moment that we have.
It's date night. Go ahead, keep going.
Listen. Listen.
No, but it is true. And I think that's a good myth to start out with in terms of myth busting, because it's probably one of the ones that I could see men internalizing this, of not feeling like what I have is enough to satisfy my spouse, but not ever wanting to talk about that or even say that out loud. Like they could be thinking it and the wife could be thinking it too. So let's just bust that myth. All you have is all you need.
Yeah, all you have is all you need. What's the number 2?
Okay, myth number 2, it's a man's duty to turn on a woman. This places all the responsibility on a man to do all the pleasing and the satisfying when it comes to turning a woman on.
Mm-hmm.
In the reality, the truth is that this arousal process is a shared experience between both husband and wife.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's important for the wife to also communicate what pleases her and to be able to help her husband to know, when you do this, that turns me on, to get things, warmed up. But I don't think it's fair to place all the responsibility on the man only.
Mm-hmm.
And a poor communication and expressing what pleases you will leave you turned off.
Yeah, and I think a lot of women who grew up in religious settings, they have an off view of sexuality and sexual life, and it's almost like, because, and we understand why there's a need to not have sex before marriage. We know the idea behind it. We know the importance of it.
Mm-hmm.
But in that also transitions into marriage as well. And so, because like sex outside of marriage is frowned upon, there also is this idea that talking about sex shouldn't be a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And because they don't talk about sex, because they're not educated, because a lot of people, men and women, they don't know the particular makeup of the male body or the woman body. There's a lot of things they don't know.
Yeah.
And they don't know that when it comes to like it's mutualism when it comes to like satisfaction. Like this requires both of us.
Right.
Because there's things that are required for me to get the experience of satisfaction sexually, and for you to get the satisfaction sexually, for us to be able to enjoy this moment. Yeah. And so without like knowing that it's not just the man's responsibility,
it's both of y'all.
It's both.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing that makes it okay. Well, this is both of us, and a lot of women feel, and obviously I'm a male, but like
you just did it. You told me to tell you. We were talking about our quirks. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So myth number 3.
Sorry, I threw you off. Okay. It's the woman's duty to provide sexual release for the man. Okay, so this now puts all the responsibility on the woman.
Yeah. Talk about
That's why that's what I get for talking about you. Then I got choked up. Sorry. It pressures the woman to engage, basically, and it makes intimacy or sex feels more like a chore and a duty of something that they have to do. And I don't think that that's necessarily the case. Do you not agree?
No, I'm just listening. Because I can hear somebody talking about there is a Bible verse that says that your body is not
that
yours.
Is true. Mm-hmm.
And my body is not mine.
Mm-hmm.
It's yours. Hopefully I ain't say the same thing twice, but like I can hear people.
Our body belongs to one another.
Yes, I can hear people saying like, if your body belongs to me, then I should be able to have sex whenever I want to. You should be able to. You should satisfy me, like whenever I want it. Like, and I can hear people maybe saying like that, or saying that, and my response to that would be, well, if you have when you have ownership of something, you take care of it. Yeah. If your spouse's body belongs to you, then you care for it in a way that brings out that sexual desire. You do the things that makes the body feel good, makes the body feel safe. So when it is time to engage in sex, it's engagement freely. Mm-hmm. And when we don't engage freely in sex, we have to ask why. When we feel restrictions, when we feel the need to drift off mentally, what's keeping us from engaging fully and wholeheartedly, in those moments? And so if we place all that on one person, if we place it on the one spouse, it's duty, that makes it hard to really enjoy.
That's what I was gonna say. It makes it hard to enjoy. Not only do I see that as pressure when there's this obligation where it's like, okay, I'm the only, well, you are the only one, should be, but meaning like this is my duty to help my husband to release this sexual tension or this sexual
Mm,
need that he has. And when there's this obligation, then it takes the desire out of it for one, the
yeah.
enjoyment, and now you find dissatisfaction in your intimacy with your spouse. Now, I do agree with your body is mine and my body belongs to you. And I actually think if we shifted our perspective of like, it is a myth, but there is this, I don't know, like just the thought of like, God designed my body to be able to please you in such a way. But it's not a duty, it's like a joy that I get to please you and serve you in that way. And so I think with the shift of a perspective and understanding truth in God's original design, it will help with busting this myth of like, oh, okay, he wants it. I got to do it. Like, here we go
hmm
again. Let me just lay here. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To have, like, it's supposed to be something that you enjoy that's pleasurable for the both of you.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah.
And so, myth number 4 says women should not be sexually assertive.
Mm. Mm.
What do you think about that? I'm gonna let you speak on that first, woman.
Well, yeah. I think you kind of touched on it a little bit earlier when you were talking about like just the religious having that background before going into a marriage of like, okay, we don't do it, we don't do it, we don't do it.
hmm
And seeing it as we shouldn't be assertive, don't throw yourself, don't be fast, right? Don't be fast, don't be
Don't be
throwing yourself at a
fast.
man.
Yeah.
And so it's the same cultural cultivation that becomes a hindrance in marriage, in the union of marriage. And I say that because it's not unladylike for you to, I guess, initiate sex is what I'm saying. And a lot of times men takes lead. I can't say for all people because I think we have different levels in terms of our sex drive at different times in different seasons that could look different. But my point is
hmm
that it's okay to be assertive, women. It's okay for you to initiate. It's okay for you to start the foreplay. It's okay for you to start turning him on, like, you know what I'm saying,
hmm
to get things popping. So I don't think that that's just. I don't think that it's not appropriate for a woman to be assertive.
When you're not able to be yourself, if that is being assertive, if that is maybe doing things that don't necessarily cross biblical lines, but it's something that you want to express, whatever. Like if you're not able to be yourself, then that also hinders orgasms.
Mm,
Because I think we were reading it, and the author was sharing how when it comes to like women orgasming, there needs to be this freedom
I was gonna
to
say freedom.
there
Yeah.
needs to be this freedom to be you.
Mm-hmm.
There needs to be this freedom to be able to moan, to be able to scream, whatever the case may be, in order to achieve. Because like most of those things that happen within the woman's body, the author was saying that it's involuntary. And when you hinder those involuntary movements, it blocks the flow of the woman's uh momentum in going where the body is leading her. And so we wanted to bust that myth, because if you want sexual fulfillment, you and your partner have to be educated about what is natural, what's not natural, and the things that you like, that you don't like. Like these are things that we talked about in the first episode on sex, that there has to be communication.
Yeah.
And when there's communication, now you can educate on each other what you like, what you don't like. And so this is also a thing that if you like to be more assertive, let it be known.
Mm-hmm.
Educate your partner that when I am more assertive, like I like to be louder, I like to grab tighter, I like to whatever it is,
Yeah.
because that allows you to get to that space of enjoyment. The performance aspect, just speaking as a man, like that can bring a lot of shame,
Mm-hmm.
because it's a way that men, it's one of the ways men identify themselves.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, am I a good sexual partner? Can I fulfill my partner's sexual needs? Like, can I make her climax? All the things. And if I can't, if I sense some frustration, some judgment, some disgust on my partner's face because I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do, there can be a lot of shame attached to that.
Yeah.
Like, there can be a lot of shame attached to the fact that I'm not performing how I'm supposed to perform sexually for my partner. And it's also important how the spouse responds in that moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, when there is shame, shame needs to be exposed. Shame needs light. Shame needs to be talked about. You know what I'm saying? Because if you allow shame to hide, shame generates its power from not being seen.
That's good.
And the more you hide, the stronger shame gets. The stronger shame gets, the more it plays with your self-confidence. The more it plays with your self-esteem. Like, as the spouse, like, so from a male talking to a woman, like my spouse, for example, let's say I'm talking to you, like, it's important that when I come to you, talking to you about, maybe a performance issue, you know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't climax, but I bust quick, or I was the first to bust, whatever. Like, it's important that if I do come to you, or if you come to me, like, I can't see you judging me. I can't see you criticizing or mocking or even clowning me. You know what I'm saying? Because like, people can be cruel. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you really want to affect the self-esteem of a guy, let's say this. If you really want to affect the self-esteem of your husband, talk about his sex life in a negative way. You know what I'm saying? To him, like, trash.
That's
Suck.
Horrible.
Minute Man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
who made that song? Was that Beyonce? No, who had a song?
Wasn't it Missy?
Something about, like, I don't want no
I
Minute
don't want
Man.
no Minute Man. I think it was Missy Elliott.
Okay, Missy Elliott.
You too young, clearly.
Whatever. The point is, that song
I think
made being a Minute Man more shameful.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's hard to overcome that type of shame for men, is all I'm getting to. So we gotta be mindful with how we talk about that, because that is vulnerable territory.
So one thing that comes to mind is when Adam and Eve was in the garden, and Eve was Adam and Eve, and when they tried to cover themselves with the fig leaves and they realized that they were naked, God told them, "Who told you that you were naked?" And it wasn't the shame that he brought on them. I believe that he was exposing the darkness. And so you sharing that of like shame and how it has to hide, and then it intensifies and it's hiding, and you get self-conscious and lack of confidence. If shame is hidden and in this darkness, then only exposing light on it will help to bring it out of shame. And I think that's in bringing it to have a conversation and talking about it, right? And exposing the lie, because that's what God said. Who told you? Like, who told you you was naked? You know, they had clearly been deceived. And for something that naturally was created the way that God had designed it to be. And so I think about that, of like the need to expose the areas of shame, and even like, okay, look, I know I didn't do my best. You know what I mean? I was tired. I'm sorry you didn't get to get yours, or whatever it is in this vulnerability when it comes to sex, of being able to talk about that and bringing that thing to the light. I believe that it helps to prevent the fact that men want to hide. And you were saying that performance, that men look at it, this is their performance. And if you want to ever make a man feel small, then to obviously belittle him in his performance when it comes to sexually. But I'm curious to why men view it as that, or even you, because you're mentioning the performance, versus the way that I see sex is this discovery and this explorative act that we get to do with one another, and learning each other over and over and over again, you know? So it's this act of discovery, because when you think of any type of performance, there's nerves, there's anxiety, right, that comes with it, versus this is a safe space for us to be able to explore our bodies. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
why do men look at it like it's all on you? The pressure's on you to perform when it takes two of us to tangle.
It do. And I can't speak for every guy,
Right.
but just in my experience and some of the men that I've talked with, when it comes to, so I don't know if you knew or not, but you're not alone. I had sex before marriage too.
Oh, really?
I did. I did.
It's under the blood.
It is.
We have definitely repented.
But either way, like when you think about just how vulnerable of a space that is, you know what I'm saying? Like, and when you think about how performing well as a man sexually makes you feel, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, like I did it. Like, it's just a big part of a guy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think it's because men, most of the time, like when you think of culturally and like being young, like high school days, men, it was like you got a pat on the back. Like there was bragging rights that came with your sexual performance or even your sexual body count. So I wonder if
part of
that's
it,
this pressure that's felt.
part of it.
Because if somebody was to dog you out and it got around, like that would be really shameful and embarrassing.
Very shameful and embarrassing, but I think it's part of it because even if you take the social rejection part of it, meaning like all your friends that you want to get a pat on the back from, you take away all that, you take away everything except for the actual couple,
Mm-hmm.
and you have that person look at you in disgust, like, dang, like I wanted the climax, but you can't get me there.
Dang.
You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't got nothing to do with them. It has more to do with like, dang, like this is the one area where like I'm low key kind of mostly in control.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like I can't perform. Like it's honestly it's hard to really say.
Maybe it's I can't please you in the way you desire.
I mean, yeah, that's a nicer way of saying it. You know what I'm saying? But like at the end of the day, like I think the reality is it's just a big part of our identity. Now it's not like our complete identity, especially as husbands who are married.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's something that we like pride ourselves on. You know what I'm saying? Like it's something I pride myself on. You know what I'm saying? Like to make sure we have a healthy sex life and we're talking about
Pride
it.
comes before destruction.
And I
Okay, go ahead.
almost had
Go ahead.
I almost had a destruction joke.
No, please don't. Keep going.
You're right. Pride did go before destruction. Did I destroy it? Or did I not?
Okay. Well, I knew this was gonna end bad. Oh my gosh. Keep going.
Your fault. But no, I just think that when it comes to, I just think there's just such a thing about like us being able to perform that's just a big part of us. You know what I'm saying? Whether
It's
you
really sad when you think about it. I'm like, ooh, it seems like just so much pressure on you guys as men. You know what I mean?
It is
I'm like,
pressure,
ooh.
but the thing is, and that's the point I was getting at, the pressure is not simply because of us. If we didn't perform well as husbands and if let's just say certain men didn't perform well and their spouse approached them with like, I mean, it's cool. Like not making it a big deal.
Mhm.
Like it's just a part of it. There's
Yeah.
going to be times where you bust quick, times where you don't.
Mhm.
Then we can look forward to the next time versus like the husband saying like, dang, like the next time I have to.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like you said, it take two to tango, and
Right.
that's what that is as well. A lot of men lose confidence when they bust quick. So if I know my signs, and this is just something that you can do. This is a hack. This is a trick. I'm gonna just give it to the men.
Mhm.
Wives, if they can want to give it to their men as well. when you switch positions, that's a way of giving yourself moment of stoppage. Pause. You know what I'm saying? Like, or doing other things to kind of give yourself that time to come off of stimulation a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
so you can kind of regroup.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I really hope that helps somebody, because I can
believe
see
it will.
I can see a lot of people getting frustrated because it's like, man, like I just don't know what to do. Like I keep busting quick. Of course you keep busting quick because you can't stop pumping.
Yeah.
Of course you gonna
Yeah.
bust quick.
It's serious though. But I think, and I love that you're sharing that, because I do believe it'll be able to help someone, if it's not a husband, a wife, to tell a husband, tell a friend to tell a friend. Because in recognizing your pre-climax cues that your body is happening, you're
I
being
like that.
aware.
I like clues. I like that.
Clues. Okay, clues. Being aware of what your body is signaling, then you can slow down to not rush, and to be present in the moment. But it also makes the moment better. It also builds a deeper connection, and it also builds a greater satisfaction, because not only are you not rushing to get through it, you're regulated so that I can also get mine too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I can see how, for men who don't understand, like, okay, look, this is just what it is, this is how I'm feeling. Or for men that try to take themselves out of the moment to focus on something else so that they can withstand and to go longer.
Mhm.
And I would much rather you be present in this moment with me, so we are equally satisfied in it, than for you to be at the baseball park and I'm here. Like, nah, I want you here present in this moment. And so
Yeah.
I love that. And how you said it's something that men can learn. You can learn to regulate. If it's not something
Right.
that you do know now, you can learn how
You
to do
can.
that. It's
And
something that can be learned.
it's not a physiological failure or a moral failure because
Yes.
you bust quick and you don't know how to. Like, you can learn that. Like, you can learn the clues
Mm-hmm.
and you can learn the cues of your body to help you better satisfy your partner.
Yeah.
And the
That's good.
thing is, like, I don't want men to be shameful at busting quick. Busting, that is so many different ways to look at that. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want shame around that, because when you think about that type of shame, that really creates anxiety about the next time.
Mm-hmm.
And that anxiety does something to the body that makes you bust quick.
Yeah.
Like, anxiety literally affects you. Like, when I feel anxious, just like in general, like in life, I feel that in my stomach. Like, I feel like my stomach feels uneasy. You know what I'm saying? And like that going into, like, imagine like feeling anxious going into a moment of like sexual interaction with your partner, and it's like it really, like, anxiety low-key kind of takes you out of the moment.
Yeah.
Like, anxiety takes you from being present. Anxiety takes you from being able to read your partner's cues. You know what I'm saying? Like, are you identifying, like, does she like this? Does she not? Like, is she fully present? Do you need to do something else to help arouse her? To take her to another, whatever. Like, anxiety keeps you from being present.
Mm-hmm.
And so busting quick brings a lot of anxiety, a lot of shame, which then creates anxiety. And I don't want men to feel anxious about, like, busting quick. Like, how can you the next time, or how can you talk with your partner, or what you need to talk about with your partner to help you next time not do that? What do you need to know about yourself to avoid that? What are your cues? You know what I'm saying? So you can respond accordingly, call a timeout. And
Not
you
literally.
and you can get back in there. Like, I know you feel the pressure of the shot clock running down, but you still got a timeout.
The shot clock is wild.
You can still call that timeout. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, I digress.
That is good how you were talking about anxiety, because there's also an anatomy anxiety that we can sometimes feel, because our bodies are made differently, and we can sometimes feel embarrassed about that in the makeup of God's design, which is nothing to be embarrassed about, because this act of intimacy, we don't have to be perfect. We just have to be present. That's the way
Yeah.
that God designed it to be. We just need to be present in the moment, but not perfect.
You
And in
don't
our
have to
last
be
episode,
perfect to be pleasurable. Yeah.
yeah. And in the last episode, we shared about in communicating and having that, and just how you can be present in the moment to unlock that pleasure. So if you didn't listen to it, go back and listen to it. But I
Yeah.
think to avoid, I guess, this anxiety that you feel, which can definitely affect the way that, I don't like the word performance, but I'm gonna use it right here, because the way that you perform, if you're anxious or have anxiety about the anatomy, your body, and what that looks like.
Yeah. And that's so difficult, because in the last episode you also mentioned just how, postpartum, like, you were really insecure about your body,
Mm-hmm.
and just how that affects how you and other women might show up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, in that, like, men also feel that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember having a conversation with a couple, and the wife said something to the husband about being fat or something like that. And like, that just sent him, like, you call me, like, it
Oh,
hit
she
him.
called him fat.
And it hit him. And it wasn't even like on no sex stuff. It was just like, I forgot what it was about, but what he remembered was that she called him fat, and it just hit him. And it's like, okay, how is that going to cause him to show up?
Have anxiety in the bedroom now.
You know what I'm saying? So now, instead of being fully present, there's a part of him that is still not there because of what you said.
Hiding.
You know what I'm
Shame.
saying? And so there's a part of him that she might not get to experience because of her comment. You know what I'm saying? So we
sad.
have to be careful as spouses with what we say, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, man, I've heard it. So, I mean, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me.
Words
They might
hurt.
not physically hurt you.
They stick longer than getting hit with a stick. They really do.
They do. But,
They really do.
like, we have to be careful. But, like, men have, like, body image issues as well. And, like, you don't have to look perfect. Like, you don't have to have the 6-pack abs. You don't have to have, you know what I'm saying, like, the chest that is just perfectly sculpted. You don't have to have all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can pleasure your partner with who you are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think when we understand that, I think that would also free us from the pressure to perform.
Yeah, that's good. I think of, like, women, because how you were sharing about my postpartum experience, and there's just this, snap back. Like, everybody trying to snap back
is
after having
crazy.
It is. They want to be snatched. They want the hourglass, but they want to snap back after having a baby. And for me, there was no snapping back. Okay. It took lots of work and months upon months, I think probably a full year. And so, but I remember the pressure that caused, and I definitely was, like, hiding myself because I didn't want to be fully seen in that moment. There were certain parts of me that I would hide, because of just, it's a natural thing that happens when you have a baby, for your body to stretch, and you get stretch marks, and you have things that, obviously shows the life that has been birthed and that has come forth, but it's also a beautiful thing. And I remember this in, I think it was Marriage on the Rock, and he was like, you should not ever compare the mother of your children to somebody who ain't birthed no children of yours. Like, don't ever compare me to someone else. Yeah, like, to compare me to an Instagram model when I just birthed your children and she ain't got them. Like, you know what I mean? So there is a lot of pressure around that, even like you said, in terms of body image for women and men. But I just wanted to speak to the women to not feel that pressure, because one thing is in being vulnerable and sharing that is I've allowed you to be able to love me through all the stages that I've gone through.
Yeah.
Always gonna love you and always. No doubt you're my blessing. Ain't no second guessing. No one can separate.